President's Day, a day to reflect on the leaders who shaped America: Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt. But this President's Day, February 17th, 2025, will be different. Across the country, a new generation will be marching. Their message? This isn't the America they signed up for. These are the 50501 protests. This isn't some polite debate. This is a full-blown, we're mad as hell situation. And they're not just mad at Trump. They're taking aim at Elon Musk, the guy who somehow went from electric cars to running the Department of Government Efficiency. Yep, you heard that right. The 50501 movement, named for their goal of protests in all 50 states, is making some serious noise. They're demanding change, they want Musk out, they want investigations into Trump's administration. Basically, they want to hit the reset button on the whole damn system. This isn't the 50501 movement's first rodeo. On February 5th, they held their first nationwide protest. Hundreds of people showed up. From New York City to Los Angeles, people were chanting, holding signs, and making it clear they've had enough. These protests weren't just about letting off steam, they were about demanding action. The 50501 movement called for Trump's impeachment. They wanted Elon Musk investigated, and they weren't going to back down. This wasn't just a bunch of kids on Twitter either. Organizations like Political Revolution, the group started by Bernie Sanders, were right there with them. Even Amy Poehler's Smart Girls got involved. This was a big deal. The February 5th protests were a shot across the bow, a warning to those in power: we're watching you and we're not going away. The President's Day protests? Consider that the main event. So, why are people so fired up? What's driving this wave of discontent and protest? Well, imagine a government that's supposed to work for you but instead seems dead set on dismantling itself. It's like watching a house of cards collapse and you're living inside it. That's the gist of what's got the 50501 movement seeing red. They're not just angry, they're outraged and mobilized. They're calling out what they see as a full-on assault on democracy itself. To them, it's not just politics, it's a battle for the soul of the nation. They point to Trump's recent executive orders, many orchestrated by none other than Elon Musk. These orders are seen as a direct attack on democratic principles. These orders, they argue, are all about shrinking the government, weakening regulations, and basically saying, to hell with the little guy. It's a move that they believe undermines the very fabric of society. They're particularly worried about something called Project 2025. This isn't just a policy, it's a blueprint for radical change. It's a conservative plan that reads like a how-to guide for dismantling the government as we know it. It's detailed, it's strategic, and it's alarming to many. And guess who's one of the architects? A guy named Russell Vought, a key figure in Trump's administration. His involvement adds a layer of credibility and concern. The 50501 movement sees all this as a direct threat to everything from healthcare and education to environmental protection and social justice. It's a comprehensive attack on multiple fronts. They believe these actions are not just wrong, but illegal. They see them as violations of fundamental rights and principles. And they're determined to fight back. This isn't just a protest, it's a movement with a mission to protect democracy. Let's talk about Elon Musk for a second. The tech billionaire who once captivated the world with his vision for a sustainable future. The guy who was supposed to save us from climate change is now at the heart of the 50501 movement's anger. Once hailed as a hero, Musk is now seen as a villain by many. Why? Because they see him as the mastermind behind Trump's most radical policies. His influence is perceived as a driving force behind controversial decisions. They point to Musk's role in pushing through Project 2025, a plan they see as a blueprint for dismantling essential government programs. This project is viewed as a direct threat to the social safety net. Musk's position as head of the Department of Government Efficiency might sound boring, but the 50501 movement believes he's using it to gut the government from the inside out. They argue that his actions are far from efficient and are instead destructive. Then there's Russell Vought, the architect of Project 2025. Vaught's vision is seen as extreme and dangerous by many. The 50501 movement sees him as a dangerous ideologue, using his influence to push through an extreme agenda. They believe his policies are designed to benefit a select few. They want him investigated and they want him held accountable for what they see as an attack on American democracy. The call for accountability is growing louder. The 50501 movement believes that Musk, Trump, and Vought are working together to fundamentally reshape the country in a way that benefits the wealthy and powerful at the expense of everyone else. This perceived alliance is seen as a threat to the common good, and they're using President's Day to say enough is enough. This day of national significance has become a rallying point for their cause. Section 5. The demands of 50501. The 50501 movement isn't just about marching and making noise. They have a clear set of demands. They're not asking, they're demanding, and they're not going away until they see some action. First and foremost, they want Elon Musk out of the government. They believe his presence is a threat to democracy and that his policies are actively harming the country. They want him investigated and held accountable for his actions. They're also demanding a full investigation into Trump's presidential appointees, particularly those linked to Project 2025. They want to know who knew what, when they knew it, and how deep this alleged conspiracy goes. But it's not just about removing bad actors. The 50501 movement is also demanding positive change. They want to see anti-discrimination legislation strengthened and enforced. They want to protect vulnerable communities from discrimination and hate. They want an America that lives up to its ideals. Section 6. From Reddit to the streets. The 50501 movement didn't start with some big political organization. It didn't start with a bunch of politicians or celebrities. It started with everyday people on the internet, pissed off, and ready to do something about it. The movement began on Reddit, in a forum where people gathered to vent their frustrations about the Trump administration and the increasingly bizarre turn American politics had taken. Someone threw out the idea of nationwide protests, 50 protests in 50 states, and the 50501 movement was born. It was a simple idea, but it resonated deeply. From there, it spread like wildfire. The idea caught on quickly, and people from all walks of life began to join in. Social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram became organizing hubs, with people sharing information, coordinating logistics, and rallying support. These platforms played a crucial role in the movement's growth. The movement's message resonated with thousands, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands of Americans who felt ignored and betrayed by their own government. It was a powerful and unifying call to action. The 50501 movement is a testament to the power of the internet to connect people, amplify voices, and mobilize action. It shows how digital platforms can be used for real-world change. It's a reminder that change doesn't always come from the top down, but from the ground up, from ordinary people demanding better from their leaders. The 50501 movement is proof that when people come together, they can make a difference. Section 7. A coalition of voices. The 50501 movement isn't just a bunch of strangers on the internet. It's become a powerful coalition of organizations and individuals united in their desire for change. This isn't just a fringe group, it's a growing movement with support from some big names. Political Revolution, the progressive powerhouse founded by Bernie Sanders, has thrown its weight behind the 50501 movement. They've helped with organization, logistics, and getting the word out. Even Amy Poehler's Smart Girls, an organization dedicated to empowering young women, has joined the fight. They recognize that the policies being enacted by the Trump administration disproportionately impact women and girls, and they're not staying silent. The 50501 movement has also garnered support from local and state lawmakers, celebrities, and activists across the country. This diverse coalition of voices is a testament to the movement's broad appeal and the growing dissatisfaction with the direction of the country. Section 8. President's Day. A turning point. President's Day 2025 won't just be another day off. It has the potential to be a turning point in American history. The 50501 movement is planning their biggest demonstration yet, a nationwide outpouring of anger, frustration, and hope. They're calling on Americans from all walks of life to join them in the streets to send a message loud and clear. We deserve better. We demand better. The eyes of the world will be on America on President's Day. Will it be business as usual with politicians ignoring the pleas of their constituents? Or will the 50501 movement's message of hope, change, and accountability finally break through? One thing is certain, the 50501 movement is just getting started. They've tapped into a deep well of anger and frustration, and they're not going away anytime soon. President's Day may be the beginning of something truly remarkable. Section 9. The fight continues. President's Day may come and go, but the fight for a more just and equitable America continues. The 50501 movement has ignited a spark, and it's up to all of us to keep that flame burning bright. This isn't a spectator sport. It requires each and every one of us to get involved, to speak out against injustice, to hold our leaders accountable, and to fight for the future we believe in. Whether it's through protesting, organizing, donating, or simply talking to your friends and family, we all have a role to play in shaping the future of our country. The 50501 movement has shown us that change is possible, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Let's honor their courage and commitment by continuing the fight for a better tomorrow. The future is in our hands.